Can you hear me all right?
Hey, look at there. Who showed up?
Hey. Good morning. Welcome to Abrasive Proud of It Live. I'm Mike Z.
Hey, I'm Chris. How we doing this morning?
Good. I'm out here on my carport, cutting trim. I'm at home.
Nice. I'm here in the store.
Cool. So what you got today?
Well, I thought we'd do something just a little different today. You know, every shop needs a lot of jigs or accessories or fixtures and things like that. So we thought today we'd showcase one of the really cool vendors that's got a lot of unique, sort of fascinating pieces to go along with your machinery and power tools. So today I'm going to flip you around so you can see we are going to take a look at some of the Microjig stuff. And Microjig has a lot of really revolutionary and cool stuff for your table saw, different jigs, fixtures, and whatnot. One of the main things that you'll see, and I'll show you one out of the box in a moment, is the grrrrrrrriper. The grrrrrrrriper is a fantastic safety product for your table saw. Allows you to really get close to the blade. It's very adjustable. And again, we'll take a look at that more closely later, but they have a lot of accessories for that to help you out. They've got additional bridges, spacers, hold downs, adapters, little stops. I mean, really cool stuff. Another one of their cool products, and we'll look more closely at that in a moment as well, is their match fit dovetail clamps. They're very innovative, and you not only get the clamps, but they've also got a variety of different fixtures and hold down pieces so that you can make a lot of attachments for use with that. And I've got something cool I'll show you in just a moment. But those clamps are really quite neat, and you can buy them in a kit with a lot of fixtures, or you can buy them independently. And essentially how that operates is it's got a little dovetail that you can use. So instead of having to have T-track for everything, you make your own track using a dovetail bit. And they even have their own dovetail bit to go along with that. One of the cool things about their 14-degree dovetail bit is it actually radiuses the bottom corners as well as that top narrower dimension, which is really kind of cool because that eliminates you needing to sand that at all. But we sell their bit as well as other bits to go along with that. But the 14-degree is the way you want to go. Another cool thing they've got, this works really well on your table saw. If you're doing a lot of dados, this allows you to set up the dados real quick, and it's got different settings on here. So once you set it up, it allows you to dial that in perfectly. But they've got a lot of different setups here. So if you've got a table saw, and let's say you've got a zero clearance insert installed, well, you can't use your splitter. Well, they make an adapter to be able to make your own splitter. So they have a thin kerf as well as a standard kerf set up. So even includes the jig to be able to drill that in. So if you're looking for a splitter to keep your wood from tightening in as you make your cuts, that's a great addition to your table saw. If you wanted to make your own sleds, they have a zero play miter bar, which is kind of cool. It operates off of a wedge setup. So you place it in your miter track and you push the two together, and as they wedge apart, then you get that perfect zero movement, and you lock them down, and then your miter bar is ready to install on your sled or whatever jig you're making. So Microjig has a lot of cool stuff, and I like their motto, work smarter. With all their stuff, you are able to work much smarter in your shop, and not only that, but you're able to work safer. So I'm going to take you over here and show you one of the cool things that I built using their system. Sorry for the heavy movement there. One moment, let me flip you back around. So one of the things I built for my shop was this crosscut sled, and this allows me to do a lot of cool things. Well, I outfitted it, the entire surface, with these dovetail slots. Well, this allows you to slide these clamps in and out of the system relatively easily. So if you're bringing a board over and you want to lock this board down, you can come right here, lock it in place. If you want to make sure this part is also held, I can come in from either end I lock it in place. So now the part is perfectly safe and attached to the workpiece, to the sled. So then I make my cut and go about my business. And you can make a ton of add-ons to this. I made a miter attachment, which I didn't have here. I've got a quick stop. So if I needed to make sure this was in a stopped location, I've got track systems here. So what I can do is locate this just like that. If I wanted this to be a dead on stop every time, I can lock that in. And now, no matter how many times I make my cut, I can always come back in and reference that over. This is just a couple of the really cool features that you can do using the Microjig system. One of the other things that you can do is it's got clamping ability here as well as here. So anywhere you make that dovetail, you now have the ability to make a fixture or hold down using their clamping system. And storage of the clamps is really easy. If you made a shelf with the same track on it, so here's your shelf, now your clamps store perfectly underneath the shelf out of the way. So if you made it deep enough, you could go too wide and have a place to store the clamps. So no matter where it is, if there's a dovetail groove with that 14 degree, these clamps will work in it, and they're really handy. This is their gripper that I was talking about earlier. So if your blade is coming here, you can adjust this side to side to accommodate whatever width where your blade falls. This allows you to go on either direction to make sure you're missing that blade. This is adjustable. So if I was going to get this clamp out of the way, if I was going to do this piece, I would rest it down on top of it, tighten this down, and now I have support. So no matter whether I'm here or way off the edge like this is gripping the part, and this is supporting the gripper itself on the surface or on your table saw. So very handy. And what makes this work so well is these little green gripper material that's here. This is fantastic. It's very grippy. It holds the parts very well. You can see even with just this holds that part very well enough for me to move. So gripper is very safe. It keeps your hands above the table. This again is fully adjustable. The handle is fully adjustable. They've got an attachment to go on the end that actually will catch a board, so it will catch it and drag it with you. Very nice, safe product. I would say if you're ever familiar with a push stick, this is like a push stick or push block on steroids. This is easily removed by loosening these two screws. Raise it up out of your way, so you no longer are fighting the support anymore. Now you can come over here anywhere you want and get good grip. So Microjig has a lot of really cool stuff, and I will say I have quickly become a fan of their complete system. And I've outfitted this crosscut sled. I have also made a drill press table using the same system. So very cool, very good quality. The clamps hold tight, and they're coming out with a new clamp now that hopefully we'll have those soon. It's got a longer capacity. It's also got a little pad on it to help maintain integrity of pressure down and in. So Microjig constantly innovating and constantly making cool stuff.
Very nice. Well, I like that sled a lot. And that's your personal one, right? I mean, we're not just talking about it because they endorsed it. We're talking about it because we endorsed it.
Yeah, this is my personal sled. I've meditated and thought on that for about 3 months in my design process, and man, it has more than exceeded my expectations. I've already built several attachments to go on it to make miters or to do cross cuts and different settings. So I'm absolutely in love with it. I use it all the time, a lot more than I thought I would.
Very cool.
So,
well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate you doing that and showing us your innovation that you use for Microjig products.
Good products, good brand, and constantly expanding. So, but we thought we'd do something a little different today and showcase a particular brand or something that, in my opinion, is really a shop essential. If you're looking to do some safety or some product upgrades or accessories, they got you covered on a lot of things. So if you got questions, feel free to let us know. comment below. We'll come back and try to answer them as we can.
Yep, we'll get to you whenever we get a chance. And so thank you so much for joining us today on Abrasive Private Live. I am Mike Z.
I'm Chris.
All right, you guys have a great day and stay safe.